Hey, I'm Deterius.
And I'm Sanisha, and we are your friendly neighborhood reviewers. We review all types of things from TV and entertainment
to news and food. Like and subscribe to our channel. All right, you guys. So it's kind of today's little episode today is going to be something different from what we normally been posting so far. So I'm gonna come out and say R.I.P to Charlie Kirk.
Our condolences to their family.
Yeah, I'm shocked and that this happened, and it was in front of his family at this event. We want to send our prayers out to their family because this is a tough time.
Honestly, this video is probably going to be for two different perspectives. Me, I'm someone who did not know who this person was, so when I got on Facebook yesterday, I'm like, what is this? What everybody keeps talking about? I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was the day before. I think it didn't happen. It happened the day before yesterday, right?
Was it yesterday?
I don't know when it happened.
I think it was yesterday.
Okay, but I honestly didn't know anything about this person. I probably seen the video, didn't really know who they were. And then I'm not really fully into like political stances. I'm not as educated as I could be. So I think we'll come from I'm going to be a different perspective of the educational aspect of it and the person who did tragically pass away. I'll be probably from a different perspective as far as not really knowing fully. And then my husband.
I on the other hand, I'm very well familiar with Charlie Kirk. I've actually seen a lot of his videos on TikTok and some of it on Instagram and Facebook. It'll pop up. But I also have had conversations with him as well. I've a lot of his view standpoints I absolutely 1000% agree with. And then there are some things where I disagree on with him, but that's okay. It's not mandatory that I agree with him on everything. And I think that's the thing that it could be a beautiful thing, but unfortunately,
it's not. It cost somebody their life. And that's honestly the take we're going from is just you agree. You can fully disagree with somebody, or you can agree partially with somebody, or you can agree with somebody fully. But it just isn't worth the fact of you taking the life of somebody else because they don't agree with your boundaries, they don't agree with your standards or your beliefs or what you promote. And I think that's just the take. We just started talking about it this morning. We was like, let's just get online and actually talk about it because this is something we normally do anyway. So we just want to make this a part of content and just kind of shed light on really what's been going on in America. Unfortunately, we're in a really, really, honestly, I don't even know what state this country would be in. It just is it's kind of becoming desensitized to a lot of the human nature and aspects of people. And we've gotten away from that.
It's also, I've been saying this for years, and I mean, we've talked about it. It's almost like it's not a gang, but it's feeling like
like you gotta choose.
You gotta be a liberal or a conservative liberal versus conservative, or Democrat versus Republican. Mm-hmm. And
or even religious, certain aspects of religion fall into this place.
And you see, people are so riled up about it that they ready to go a war about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
to the point where somebody got killed for this, or unalived, I would say, for this.
For their own personal belief.
Right.
And just because you don't agree with it don't mean that, just because you might think one way doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
And just because somebody else might think another way doesn't mean that they're wrong or they're right. It's a matter of perception, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if somebody's opinion make you that mad to where you gotta unalive them, then they're not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You are the problem. And maybe the cause that you're fighting for is not a good stance. Because you should be able to have debates with people and
People just agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And sometimes
if it's that point, because sometimes you could debate and you could learn something, and you be like, oh, okay, and then it could be a healthy thing. But if it's a point where it just makes you so mad that you shut down and you want to do this, you want to commit acts of violence, then maybe the problem is you and not necessarily. Stop. Because there's. Oh, let's just want a bottle.
Mm-hmm. No. Don't do it.
No.
I know what you're doing. Stop. She get on my nerves, bro. What you crying for? Be quiet.
Sorry, but yeah, it's.
You know.
So I've watched a lot of Charlie Kirk. Him with Candace Owens. And there are a few others. The Hodge twins. Some of you may or may not know them. Yeah.
I don't even know. I know Candace though. I know Candace Owens.
I ain't do that to you.
She's so extra.
But there are a lot of conservative Black Americans, and for some time now, I have been watching them, and for a lot of times, for the longest of time, I grew up Democrat. And not because of I knew or understood any of their policies, just because that was the thing in our community. We was taught Republicans are racist and Democrats are for us. That's just how it was. That's how I know a lot of people who come from that type of background. They're generational Democrats, and none of them really were supportive Republicans because that's what we was taught. Our grandmas, great grandmas, well, probably not great grandmas, but our grandmas, our aunties, uncles, moms, dads, there was nothing but Democrats around. And the only thing we really heard was that, Republicans are racist and, this person doing that. Every time there's a Republican brought up, it's always linked to racism. Outside of Dr. Ben Carson, who I think we as a Black, we owe him an apology, but he was called the coon for even being a Black man running for Republican side, and he's a gifted doctor. They made a whole movie about Dr. Ben Carson.
And book.
Yeah.
I read a book for
The Gifted Hands.
Yep. And they actually, I think he wrote a book, if I'm not mistaken. It was something I had learned about. I had to read for a project in class.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm coming from that background of where I was also a part of that generational Democrat background. But I've been listening to a lot of the conservative ideas over the past few years, and when I registered to vote for the first time, I voted for Obama. Yeah, I believe I voted for Obama when I first came to being able to vote. No, when I see that back, he was already in office when I came to age of vote.
But you're in round two, so you get the round two.
Yes, but round two, I voted for Obama. I don't know what, we kind of, what's the hold up of, that the Democratic Party have over us. And I'm not saying that you can't vote Democratic Party. If you want to vote that's fine, that's your right. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the values that, the conservative party or conservative sides have had, I agree with them. And it just, when you look at everything today, it kind of, that is what resonates with me. You see, I have a daughter. I have kids. Like, that's just where I resonate with. Why did you mention you had kids? Like, what does that have to do with? Well, because you look at more of the liberal side now, and even here in California, they're, like we was talking about it a few times, where they're trying to take the rights from us as parents, that we can't have, that our kids can get, picked up from school without us knowing.
We just got a letter from Kaiser saying that
that they can get
he can
sex changes,
mental health,
what is it?
Sexual health. Another one can go in. He can go and make an appointment without my consent. And go and
absolutely
have his own appointments, basically.
He can get a whole sex change without our knowledge of. They don't have to tell us. Mm-hmm. And then yes, they can have an adult. They're not gonna ID adults to come and pick up your kids from school. Like anybody can come do that.
Yeah.
And they can take the custody. So there's a lot that's going on the liberal side now, to where it's like it puts a lot of things in perspective. Mm-hmm. And they're pushing that agenda here in California. Now, a lot of I was born and raised on the East Coast. A lot of these type of programs didn't hit the East Coast until they started first in California. And once there was a Democratic president, then they started in a Democratic heavy Congress. That's when all those agendas start making their way east. Like they go on a national program. So I'm not saying that if you're a Democrat and you want to vote Democrat, hey, that's fine. I mean,
we're still if that was the case, then that would just negate what we just stated. You
right.
should be able to walk with people, and even if you don't have the same agreement, we all live together. We all got one earth. We can't go nowhere else. So it's like, but we should also be able to even advocate for ourselves. If we feel like something is right, even if it's not fully in agreement. Now, I'm not saying things like inappropriate behaviors like, oh, let's go unalive people and think that that's okay. No, that's not okay. Then that's a point where, I'm not fooling with you. Right. And then there's places for people like that called jail and prison and all these other things. So that's not what I'm stating. But as far as people, let's say there's something completely left field that I don't agree with, but somebody's promoting that on their social media, that's their business. That's what they're following. That's for them. I'm going to unsubscribe, I'm going to unfollow, and I'm going to unfriend or possibly block. I don't have to see all of that. And I think with this person who did recently, what happened with him was just really unfortunate. Yeah. He's doing what he was born to do. He's walking in his purpose. That's what he was born to do. If I don't agree with that, I don't have to go to nothing where he's speaking at. I don't have to follow any of his social medias. I can just unsubscribe to all of that and focus on my own life and what my purpose is.
Right.
Because we got so much of an opinion about everybody else, but what are we actually doing that is our God-given talents? So what are we putting out back into the world, or we're so focused on other people?
He made sure that he spoke whenever Charlie Kirk did was at schools, colleges doing debates, even in England, because he was out in England debating a few times. Here, or colleges across the nation here. Even in South Korea, I seen a video of when he was in South Korea. He made sure he spoke his values, and that's a respectable thing. Like he spoke his stance, whether you agree with it or not. That's fine. He never, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. Mm-hmm. But this is what he believed. He was, for what we've seen, he was a devoted Christian. He made sure that when he spoke on those things. He was against abortion. I mean, and that's fine. He spoke out about the gun violence.
And just speaking on that, like the abortion aspect, there's a lot of people who agree that people should be able to make their own decisions on what they choose to do, and there's some people that agree in other ways, and
that is murder. So what you gonna unalive me because I think that same thing? Like,
right, whether I go left or right is my choice. The same way you're trying to advocate for certain things, you're really just honestly
want everybody to just agree with you.
Pretty much, and to the point where you're going to go and threaten somebody's life is crazy to me. I get we get a little emotional, we get very frustrated, because even there's times where I've had conversations and I got a little aggressive, and let me go on for a walk, I'm gonna shut this down before we start hurting each other really worse with our words. So I'm gonna shut it down, or I might hurt your feelings with my words. You might shut me down. That's a human thing, but I'm not gonna go to the point where it's that I'm ready to take this person's life. That's
I'm ready to go
a
to
lot.
war about it. Like,
that's a lot. That's honestly, at that point, there's some areas in me
that I need to check.
That I need healing and deliverance and whatever other areas I need help in. There's something going on in my system.
Take you to the Lord in prayer.
And then we could go off the fact that I don't know, maybe it's because he's Christian as well. There's a lot of reasons as to why somebody would do this, but at the same time, doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah, a lot of people look at it because when I watch these videos, a lot of people have a problem with, and it's mostly like liberal. And I'm gonna say a lot about my community too.
Yeah.
We look at, and I don't care who this offends. I want to be perfectly clear on that, because we got to stop lying to ourselves. There's conversations that we have in our community that.
What community?
The black community.
Okay, because at first I was like Christians, or I just want to be clear. That's all.
That's right. Oh yeah. Okay. So in the black community that we have every single day, that man has spoke on and said these same exact stuff we've said, and yet because he's white, we feel like he don't have the right to say that, but that doesn't make him wrong. When Ice Cube speaks on the same thing, nobody's in disagreement. When Eddie Griffin says the same thing, nobody speaks in disagreement. When Dave Chappelle speaks on the same thing, nobody speaks in disagreement. We all, in fact, when Dave Chappelle says it, we laugh.
Mm-hmm. And tune into another episode.
Paul Mooney said the same thing when he was alive. We all laughed.
And agreed. And even if you didn't agree, you didn't get all hyped to the point where you felt you needed to, let's boycott them and all this. Or not even that, because that's a choice too. You can choose that, but you ain't thinking about taking their lives.
Right.
I would hope not.
like there's conversations that we have in our community. We talk about how bad the living situations are, but what are we really doing about it? What are we really doing about it besides talking about it? We get out here and march about police brutality. Let me be perfectly clear. That is a problem,
and we have every right to do that.
But then when we look at our living situations, we killing each other. We so quick to pull a gun out on each other, we can't even walk down the street. We can't see each other, look in each other's face, and smile. You got a mean mug on your face. You watching me, looking at me like I'm a threat, but then you all. Hey, boo. But then when it's a white person, you act different around them. I'm supposed to be your brother, but yet you look at me like an enemy. So I mean,
and it's the same thing with women. There's times I've smiled at my fellow black woman, and she looked at me so
got a whole fucking attitude.
Okay, I mean, I guess, and I just was like, I get it. Like, I understand. We got it tough. We had it bad, and I understand where that stems from. At the same time,
we can't just keep blaming everybody else.
No.
Because at what point are we gonna make the change that's necessary in our neighborhood? We ain't gotta have money to make big change. We can start by our attitudes, the way we treat each other. Like, now don't get me wrong. There are some black people that I can walk past. Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Yep. All the time. To be honest.
Real. Like, and they could be hood. They could be elderly. They could be whatever. There's times where they do that. But then there's a large portion of it where we walking around it, mean mugging each other like.
Or you don't fit into a certain group of females or people because of what you wearing. Because I don't have my nails done. I've just seen a post the other day talking about I'd rather not have my hair done than walk around with blank nails. You're talking about just your natural nails that you were born with is now a problem, and now you're looking at women funny because her nails aren't done. What if she can't afford that, but her bills are paid, her children are fed, her children are clothed, she goes to work every day, but nails cost about $100 now. What if she just can't afford that? And that's just your nails. I'm not talking about your feet. I'm talking about your hair, your eyebrows, all that. I'm talking about your nails in general. And it can be more than $100 depending on what you go with. But I'm just saying, like, I even seen that post and it just really disgusted me, because it's like, where are we as a people that we so focused on the outer appearance of something that it causes you to treat people poorly. Like, people are mocking this person who lost his life. I understand he's not our color or skin tone or our skin color or our culture. I understand that, but when is it ever funny when you see somebody die in front of their wife and their kids?
right? That is the most disgusting. And then not only just people doing it, but like for them to do that on MSNBC, the guy, I'm glad he lost his job, because how dare you?
I can imagine being a wife and my husband is doing his God-given thing, and I'm just proud. I'm sitting up there like, that's my man. He preaching or he's teaching in front of a group of people, and he's out there doing what he's supposed to do, and I just hear a gunshot go off and see him on the ground. My kids are sitting there and saw that as well. Like, you can't put yourself in that family's shoes to just see that and see how hurtful, harmful. Because if it was your family, we do that. We had the barbecues, the cookouts, the t-shirts, the horse rides, the carriages. I done seen it all in people's family members' eye. And if somebody even posts something, even to the point that it's not even as fully offensive, they may post something that you just don't want to see that day because you're grieving, and you going in on Facebook. Or you going in on everybody. You're mad at the world. But then when this person who's not your skin color pass away in the same exact way, because grief is grief, it don't matter. Death is death. It does not matter what culture you from. Everybody has a timestamp, and families are left behind to scramble up and figure out what they gonna do. People are affected really harshly. I know how grief feels, and it sucks. And to know people are just laughing about you or making a joke.
Not just people like around you, it's in front of the entire world.
That part.
The entire country.
Because at least, go ahead, my bad.
It might not be everybody in the country, because there's a lot of people who feel strongly that actually agree with what Charlie Kirk talked about. But then where there's a large amount of, there's millions of people. It's one thing if it's a small, like a little group of people who really didn't like, but
and
no,
it's
millions.
You can still pay your respects and still just be like,
you can keep your mouth closed.
Right.
There was a time where elders, I know I was told that if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
I don't see what you need to have anything to say about somebody passing away.
You didn't like that person, or you didn't like what they said.
Yeah.
Okay, but that person ain't never murdered nobody. That person never raped nobody. That person never. All that person did was ever speak their opinion, whether you agree with it or not. That's all they are guilty of.
It's the same with Malcolm X. It's the same. It's no different. To be honest, I'm not saying they hold the same weight or they do the same things. Do. I mean, I guess it does hold the same weight because it's basically the same thing in a way.
He spoke his opinion, and he
had followers.
He got unalived for speaking his opinion.
Pretty much. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because we was talking about it earlier.
That's true.
That when Malcolm X was preaching division, he didn't die. But as soon as he started preaching unity, he got unalived.
It's the truth. I think people have a really hard time with determining what's truthful and what your emotions are. And I think a lot of people, because it feels, and honestly, our emotions are true. We feel them.
But they can also be misleading too.
You can't be guided by that though. Just because I say something that's truthful and maybe not even the truth hurts.
It might be insensitive.
The truth hurt. It might even be insensitive. It also might be, no, it's not even, well, I mean, I guess you could say it'd be insensitive. It might be a little harsher. It might be a little rough around the edges. It's not going to be a cute little piece of cake being fed to you. It's something that the truth does hurt. And I think people say that because it's so small, the truth hurts. You know, it's just very small. But no, it's a big thing.
It's really big.
It's a convicting feeling when somebody, especially like if somebody's correcting you and you don't want to hear, like, I understand that's hurtful, but that doesn't mean that now this person is hurting you. No, it just hurts.
Or are they attacking you? Like, there's a difference in what we're seeing today is.
What we're saying.
All right. So what we're seeing today is a lot of people don't want to be corrected, and that is the issue. Everybody wants to be able to do whatever they want to. They feel everything wants, whatever it is that they want to do, but they don't want to be told that what they're doing is wrong. And a lot of the problem is what they're doing is immoral.
No. Right.
You talk about morality. Jeffrey Epstein and all of the issues that he had, but when we talk about, you know, the having children go through surgeries for changing their sex, that is okay. They're kids.
Because they don't feel like their gender. To be honest, that's really what the thing is. I don't feel like I'm this, so I want to go to this, but you can't really make big decisions in those feelings because you're feeling that as a child. You don't know if you're going to feel that way as an adult. Now, if you're an adult and you make your decisions, that's on you. Because even then, there's a lot of stuff in the Christian community that Christians, by faith, do not agree with. Does that mean that I believe that you should die because your lifestyle don't add up to my beliefs? Absolutely not.
No.
That's your business. It has nothing to do with me. Now, if you want to come to church and you see certain things being preached, that's your decision. Now you know that either you're going to get with the program or you don't have to. Guess what? The doors are always open for you to walk out. It's the same thing with God. Like, he might have created the standard, he might have created the laws and the what we should abide by, but he's not forcing you to do anything. It's your choice. Exactly. So, and he's not going to unalive you because of that. Sin is unaliving people because that's just what sin is. It's death, unfortunately.
Now, and all he is going to let you know is the consequences are the consequences, but you get to choose
exactly
where you stand on that.
Exactly.
Just make sure you, when you stand there, you're going to see it all the way through.
And the crazy part is, with God, all the benefits, yeah, she's going to use the restroom. All the benefits that come with God, he ain't going to take it from you. He ain't take nothing, all the beautiful sceneries we get to have, the food, the shelter, the clothing, the things that we need as a person, people to survive. People who don't believe in him still have access to those things. You can be rich without him. You could have family without him. You could receive love without him. Not unfortunately, but that's just how God is. He's not going to take away those benefits, but you still have a decision. He's not going to say, oh, well, I'm going to let you go. There's a time where he did flood the world and kill everybody, but that was a different, because it became extremely immoral.
Yeah, and
to the point where it was unhealthy for us.
Now the only punishment you're gonna see is not right now. You might not see it right now. You might not see it in this life, but it's gonna come. Just as long as you know that what you choose is what you choose, and you stand on it.
Yeah.
Now,
and that's a whole nother time. Honestly, that would be a whole nother video to even break down, because it's not even fully like, oh, I'm punishing you for not believing. This is just what it is. Like, and that's a whole nother thing. We could go down the whole rabbit hole of that topic for sure, because it's a deeper understanding of how God is and how he operates. And I think as us, unfortunately, we live in a world of sin, so we have a honestly distorted way of even thinking about salvation and all that other stuff. But at the same time, like, not at the same time, I need to start using that segue. But
I gotta start doing
right? Like, there's a couple of segues I be doing that do not go with what I'm trying to say. But, like, you know, it's just, we just have gotten to, especially in America, I just think we're in a space of emotions over truth, unfortunately.
The
like,
problem here in America, and that is true, but the real issue is because of everything is so, we have it good here, and we don't have to really too much worry about housing. We got that. Housing is taken care of now, although there are homeless issues, but
homeless crisis.
We have a lot more freedoms than a lot of other places in the world, and we have so much liberty to. We don't have to worry so
under
much.
Dictatorship,
right?
At all. Like,
when the survival mode is taken away from, since everything is so, we got running water, we got food, some places deal with a lot of poverty. We don't really deal with a lot of that. And so that kind of debate, our needs are met here. So now now everybody's trying to find something else to complain about. And that's where you see the surge and they taking advantage of the liberties that are here, and
now
they pushing the limits.
Right, now some stuff, the liberties is, or now we're trying to make certain things that are really not even a necessity of life a huge problem. Like, we can't live without this. Yes,
right?
You can. Like,
but other countries where they
everyone comes 433.
all by herself.
Look.
But and that's kind of where we are. It's a spoiled entitlement mentality, because all of the needs are being met. It's different from where you go to some of these other countries that don't have what we have. They're focusing on surviving, and we're not so hyper focused on surviving. So now we gotta find the next thing we gotta worry. So and when I say this, I don't want people to take it the wrong way. Take it how you want to take it.
We still struggle. Not saying we don't have struggles, because most families in America are struggling financially, and the cost of living is crazy. There's a lot of different struggles, but the basic needs are still being met. Even if we had to go to a homeless shelter, or you have to go to a hotel to live in, some of those basic needs are still being met compared to you sleeping on the streets or other horrible situations that happen due to homelessness.
Right. And so here, where I was going to go say, you fine. So all our basic needs are met, and then some. So that's why we've kind of, if you've been really paying attention, the surge in mental health has been in the past 10 years, the mental health theme has increased tremendously. And then when you lead to that, not only that, and I'm not saying, then you got the LGBTQ plus community surge. That started surging within in the past 15, almost 20 years. So the mental health portion of the theme here in the United States has went up tremendously. I'm not saying that's a horrible thing. There is just, this is gonna be a hot take. Although I agree that there is some people need they really need mental health. Trust, I do understand that. But I think a lot of people are taking advantage of the fact that their mental health, and they're making excuses for their horrible behavior, and they're masking it under mental health, and they need to seek therapy. When no, the problem is that maybe you do need therapy, but the reality is you just ain't shit person. And there's no amount of therapy that you're going to take is going to help that until you finally decide that, hey, I need to change. And some people are so narcissistic that they will continue thinking that they'll go and get the therapy, but they're only going to get it just so they say they got therapy. Not because they want to actually get help, but to say, hey, look, I'm working on me, but they're not really changing their behavior. So if you're going to be that type of hypocrite, don't even go to therapy. Just come to the realization that you ain't shit and just continue not being shit. And now that you've seen, and then the LGBTQ plus community has gotten under a federal umbrella now, to where the agendas here are more aggressive towards LGBTQ plus community. Have gotten so many rights to now they pushing the limits to where they are literally here in California, as we stated earlier, they're taking away the parents' rights to say so on certain things that comes into that nature. If a parent or if a child wants to have a sex change, I think that should go through the parent. I don't believe no child nobody under the age of 18 should have that type of surgery done without parent consent. But here in California, they're making it that way. So let's say my son, who's 10 years old, expresses to his counselor that he wants to get he feel like he's of another gender, and he wants to transform himself into that gender. I don't have to be informed about it. My wife, she don't have to be informed about it. That's our child. So how dare y'all not tell us that? There's a certain amount of things that are happening here because of people taking advantage of the system, and they're being allowed to. And I think that is kind of like why we're here in America, we're facing the problems that we're facing. Too many times that people are taking advantage and abusing of the system, and that's from politicians on down to everyday citizens.
And that's what I was talking and I was thinking yesterday, and that's what I was saying. It's like everything that happens at the head, it always trickles down to the body. And if the head is already and which is the head of our country, they're already inhumane and doing all these crazy, just outlandish types of things. What do you think is going to be for the people who are affected? It's the same thing like if you're in a bad environment. Eventually that stuff is going to rub off on you.
Right.
You know, and I think that's just what's happening right now. We have become very, our empathy is gone. Our logic, dang near gone. Emotions are running high, and emotions are the truth. Right. And that's just honestly where we are. And I agree, and I'm actually pursuing education in mental health, but there's still a level of
reality that has to
but that's the point of mental health. Mental health is the field is supposed to help you engage with reality, focus off your feelings. But most people go into these type of environments and they're lying. You're not being honest with the therapist. You're not, really trying to seek out help. You're doing it for the sake of saying that you're going to therapy and that you're working on yourself to feel better about, or try to paint yourself to look like a different person in society than what you really are. So with some therapists, a lot of people will choose, I don't want to go to that therapist no more. Why? Because they probably tell you the truth, unfortunately, and they can see past all of the lies. They can see past all of your foolishness, and they're trying to get to the root cause to help you get better. And in reality, you don't want to get better. You just want attention.
Right.
That's really what the bottom line. Most people just want
a therapist.
attention.
I'll be a therapist.
Yeah.
You might not like what I'm gonna say, but I'll be a therapist.
A lot of people have access to resources and the truth. A lot of times people don't want to listen to their family members, don't want to listen to older brothers, don't want to listen to older cousins or siblings or aunts and uncles. Now some people are foul. Yeah. We have had some not so great advice, but at the same time people are telling you the truth. You don't really lean into it. You kind of go towards the lies. You go into what you want to fit in your emotional bubble that feels right to you at that time. So that's why this guy felt, oh, it's okay for me to shoot this person because this is how I feel. I don't like this, so I'm going to take him out.
And another thing, when I was in the military, I was in the Marine Corps, United States Marine Corps. One thing that when you have weak leadership, it creates a weak
team.
Not just a team, but a weak country. Weak leadership produce weak country.
Yeah.
Because now you have people who are mentally weak, physically weak, and emotionally weak.
Spiritually weak too.
Absolutely. So when that all stems from weak leadership, then when you have a strong leadership, you're gonna have a strong presence, and physically they're gonna be strong. Mentally they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be gung ho is what they're gonna be full all out. They're gonna be emotionally, they're gonna be strong.
Yeah.
They're gonna be able to deal with a lot and still be able to continue. What we're seeing in an environment for the last, I wanna say 20 years, we've been seeing in a weaker and weaker emotional state of mind, because we have weak leadership. And that's where it stems from. The more people are suffering from mental health disorders now. I swear every time I turn around there's a new mental disorder. And why? Because there's weak mental, because there have been so many weak leaders, and it allowed the country to be soft. It allowed the country to be so broken because of the agendas that they have been spreading. Where everybody wants to talk about, it's so easy to say, oh yeah, we should all unite and do all of this, but where are you seeing that from in the leadership?
And we can't unite. We can't even we can't even support each other's businesses.
Yeah,
how we go, we can't even share. You see two people doing something great, share this podcast. How about that? Can you do that? Why? Because you maybe just don't want to support. Like, you can't even do that. It's a press of a button. It's moving your feet. You're scrolling anyway. You're doing the same interaction. Go on and share this with somebody you know.
I like how you turned that. I like how you did that.
You ugly. But yeah. No, but for real though, on some real stuff, like we really can't support each other. Like we can't even do the basic. We can't even work together to live together. Like, you see these other cultures living together in one household making it work. We can't even do that.
But there's a lot. Even we just can't even have a conversation without, it turning into something else. Like, if we can't even talk and disagree without it coming to something, how are we supposed to come together? How are we supposed to unite? That is just like physically impossible.
Yeah.
First, it starts with talking.
Yeah. And even if it does lead to an argument, maybe feelings might be hurt, words might be said that's hurtful to each other. That's human. We're all human. We all got our own stuff. We got our own, ways. Maybe the way I communicate to one person might not be helpful for another person, or it might be because everybody. We can't know 100 people at one time and try to communicate to everybody in the way that they open to communication. That's why logic needs to come in.
And
to
borrow something from my wife that she's always said, even if I offend you, are you still gonna give me the grace?
Yeah, that's deep.
Cause
you're gonna offend me. You won't be offended.
But how I feel, how I view things may not be the things that the way you view it.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it makes you that mad to want to go to that route, can you not just give me the grace?
Yeah. That's deep.
Because I'm not supposed. What's unique about us as a people is not that we are just humans, but we have the ability to agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is broken, then
and there's a time and a place where, okay, you should stop fooling with somebody. I could see somebody's coming for your character, because people won't come for your character. People need to come for your character. Well, if somebody's coming for you disrespectfully, like how y'all doing this man and his family, yeah, I would cut you off completely, because it's one thing for you to do it, okay, like the dude, he got fired from his job. He deserved that because you're coming for him and his family at a time that's really so inappropriate, and it's disrespectful, it's not helpful, it's not beneficial, and it's not really, it's really damaging. I could get that part. Like, there's a time and a place for that. Especially if you already addressed it and a person keeps continuously doing something, yeah, you should cut somebody off. I get that part. And you can't walk together at that point. We can't agree, because now you're becoming detrimental to my emotions. There's a time and a place where you should lean into your emotions to leave people alone. Right. And there's a time for you to lean into your emotions and be okay with if it doesn't feel good. Everything ain't gonna feel good.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how people talk about Cam Newton.
Oh, here, my bad.
They're so quick to, trash the character of Cam Newton, but yet can we keep it to where if he talk about how his viewpoints, what you didn't agree on, but don't bash the character of the person just because that's how he viewed things doesn't make him a bad person.
Right. And what I do like about him is that at least he gives you the benefit of knowing he's not playing. He's honest. That's what I really appreciate about him. Like, if somebody's coming at you with full honesty, I can accept that. Like, that's cool. At least you're being honest and you're not putting on a facade. I don't agree with Cam Newton with a lot of stuff he doing. I don't even watch like a lot of stuff from his podcast, but I do subscribe to him. But I don't agree with everything. And I've addressed that. Like, me and my husband have conversations about him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do respect the fact that he's honest. Now, do I agree with his lifestyle choices? No. Does that mean that he should be not making YouTube videos and be cut off? No. He has a large audience. And people like his podcast. Just because I don't agree doesn't mean that he should be completely done with or let go of in any way, shape, or form. I just don't agree, so I could easily just scroll past his videos.
Right. And with Charlie Kirk, he had his own viewpoints, but he ain't never, as a character of a person, he might not agree with everybody, but he even tell him, God bless you, have a wonderful day. Like, from what I've seen based off his character, his person, his views are his views. But that doesn't mean he's evil. That doesn't mean that he was, hateful. That just how he viewed things is how he viewed things. And like I said, I agree with a lot of things that he has said. I've had actually comment on some things of his. We've actually talked about some of the things that I didn't agree with him with. I didn't agree with him with reparations that, we as African Americans don't have deserved reparations. I have said that too. We've had debates about it that don't make me look at him any less of a person than what he is.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of things that we do agree with about.
Mm-hmm. And that would be so beneficial to the unification of the world. But because we can't get past disagreements, we just choose
or
either
this.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, I guess it's a part of a disagreement, you know, of culture and our past. And I'm not saying that to disregard anything we went through as a black people, because we've been through a lot. And I understand a lot of that, it goes into why we even act the way we do now, why we even make the decisions we do now. But at the same time, what are we going to do? Keep repeating the same thing over and over again? We're here. We don't have nowhere else to go. We can't go back and change history. We can't change anything but what's happening today. And it starts with small things. It's smart, like you said earlier. You just said it, like the small things. When you see another person from your same culture, can you smile? Can you say hello? If somebody is in need of help,
lend that helping hand.
If somebody asking you to support their business, I mean, I'm not saying that just for a plug for us, even though I still am saying it for a plug for us. But like, I'm just saying, like,
because there's been times where we'd be in the car and I see somebody pushing their car. I've gotten out the car and helped them push.
Yeah. And even there's times where I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I'm not even gonna hold. There's times where I'm having a bad day. I don't want to fool with nobody, but I always get checked. Like, God be like, ma'am, I understand you going through stuff, but you need to get it together. Like, and I'm just like, hey, like, we don't got time to let little stuff pass us by. We don't got time for missed opportunities. The way the world going right now, I don't know how much time we got left for this just to completely go haywire.
And my wife has done the same thing. Well, not probably pushing no car. She ain't pushing no car, but some of my friends who needed resumes done, she gladly and didn't even charge them anything. They went on to get jobs and whatnot. And she did that. She took time out of her day to do that.
And it takes time.
It took some time.
Yeah.
And like, and she didn't charge them. She didn't. It was, hey, did it for them, got it out the way, and never asked for anything.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't even say that they thank her for doing it. But that doesn't take the fact that she did it.
Yeah.
And you know, so it. You want the world to change. You want change. Be the change. You can't just say, "Oh, I hope this stuff changed." No, you gotta actually be the change.
Yeah. And just because we have not so great leadership doesn't mean that we are not leaders. We're parents. We're people who own businesses. We're employees. Just because you might feel, a lot of people on the jobs don't feel important because our leadership, the supervisors, the managers, try to put us in a certain category as if we work for them. No, you're still a leader in society. You're still serving people food. You're still cooking that food back there. You got to make sure don't nobody get sick. You got to make sure when you're washing them dishes, it's disinfected so people don't get sick. You got to wash down those tables and make sure nobody gets sick. Like, there's still leadership roles in even the smallest of things. If you're a mother or a father, you're a leader.
Yeah. They're
looking after you. Hold on. Yes, I just don't want people to not realize that there is leadership in even the small positions that you feel is not, you might not feel like you're qualified or ready or you're important, and in reality you're important to somebody in some way, shape, or form. Companies need you. They wouldn't have employees if it were not for you. We all, need each other regardless, and even if we can't walk together to agree, that doesn't mean we can't all just at least live in the world and not walk in hatred for one another.
So absolutely, like even if you don't, the smallest role you think it is there's still some type of leadership in there. You got anything else, babe?
I think we kind of touched on a lot. I just think actually just growing in empathy is something that we all need to work on. To consider other people and be okay with other people not fully agreeing, knowing that emotions don't dictate the truth. Just because you feel hurt doesn't mean that you're being hurt. It just means that you are hurt, and maybe that might be an area you might need to grow in.
Or and just because somebody's opinion is different from yours don't mean that they out to get you.
Yeah. Even if they don't agree, a person could be very passionate in their disagreement. Does not mean they're out to get you.
Right.
Like, they're not attacking you.
Like, yeah, it's okay to disagree. Now, your standpoint is your standpoint, my standpoint is my standpoint. Now, the beauty of a community is that we can come to some type of compromise, but the only way we can do that is through having hard conversations. And if you can't handle hard conversations, then maybe there is something that you really need to, that's something you need to be working on. Because you're going to find it's going to be very, very hard to live in a society, because you're not going to see the beauty. Well, I don't know. Well, I may not say that. It's going to be hard for you to live because not everybody's going to agree with you, and you're going to find people who agree with you, and that's cool if you make that's your community. But also you got to realize that not everybody's a part of that, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that this person is this way. Don't mean that you're that way. It just means that we're different in opinions, and that's fine. I do want, before we go, this merchandise. I've had this sweater for
5 years now?
About 5 years, yeah.
Wow.
It's MMOB. It's a black-owned business, black-owned company.
Minding my own business. Look at God.
Minding my own business. Out here in Sacramento, there was this barber who him and his son started this brand up. You might be able to find. I'm pretty sure you can find this online. His son passed away due to gun violence, and I do kind of want to shed light on that. It's a black-owned business, minding my own.
You
business.
probably done seen somebody. I've seen a lot of people have their shirts, the sweaters.
Yeah,
they got,
especially if
suits.
if you're in California, and especially in Sacramento, you've definitely seen this a lot.
What you doing?
So, do want to spotlight on another black business. No, she's not. I do want to reiterate R.I.P to Charlie Kirk. And anybody who's lost their life to gun violence, because there's been a lot of it, I do want to say R.I.P. and you are loved and you are missed. And we've got to get a better handling on this type of this situation. I wish nothing but love and prosperity to everybody, regardless if we disagree or not. I don't wish ill will upon you. And it's a tragedy that this happened to this man's family.
Yeah, it's a lot when you think about, like, think if it was your family, think about if it was your dad, think about if it was your husband, think about if it was your spouse, think about if it was your best friend's spouse, or think about if it was your best friend, how would you feel, if you have to sit there and watch that, so just be mindful. I think we all need to grow. I need to grow in mindfulness, because I'm playing and I'm saying stuff and not really realizing it might be, hurtful to other people. So I know I get it, because we do get into this space where we just chilling with our homies, we saying little funny stuff, and I be saying I have extreme dark humor, so I be saying some inappropriate things with my friends, but I can't. You can't do that with everybody, and especially if you're gonna have a platform online, you can't do that.
No, you could. I mean, it's definitely gonna make a hot take.
Yeah, it's just insensitive, especially when you're talking about somebody who was unalived. It's one thing if you're just talking about, and it's your people's, because I make jokes about people. I'm just not even go there. But like, I almost got myself in trouble. See? But yeah, like, so that, because you could say, oh, that's the same thing he did. No, it's not the same thing. The same thing is not being negative about somebody's demise.
Right.
And then you just speaking truth in your opinion about laws and precepts and things like that is going on in the world. It's very different. So definitely just praying for the world, to be honest, because there's so much going on. I don't know what the world is going to look like in 10 years. It's kind of scary. I'm kind of nervous with all of the new technologies and laws and things that are permissible now that you wouldn't dare think about years ago. It's kind of scary. So I just pray that we all stay prayerful and live in peace, y'all. There's going to be times where we're not peaceable as far as our agreements. It's not going to always feel like peace, but peace should not, the disagreement shouldn't lead in bloodshed. It just shouldn't.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have a world of wars and things of that sort, so it does happen.
Sometimes war is necessary, but killing somebody because of their opinion is not.
Yeah. And there's a time and a place for everything. Like, what applies in one area doesn't apply for all, you know, and it's just so many things. You could bounce back off this video. It could be probably 4-5 hours, but we just want to encourage you guys to like our channel
and subscribe
to our channel, share our channel, and we just am praying for you guys. If you would like prayer, definitely
send the prayer hands up in the comment.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be praying for you guys. But thank you so much for tuning in. We love y'all. Peace out.
Peace.